Hello, friends on SpeedGaming. How are you doing tonight? I'm excited to bring you another Super Metroid multi-category tournament race. Tonight we have, and it's not over. Azder was just playing arcade. Tonight we have Azder versus BFrobber, and they have chosen 100% as their category tonight. And maybe if you aren't sure what the multi-category tournament is, um, each week we are showcasing 3 different categories that the paired up runners.
The last Metroid is in
I
captivity.
guess we're watching the intro
The galaxy
today.
is at peace.
So anyway, I guess while we watch this, yeah, so we have 3 categories that the runners can choose from each week, and this week the categories were 100%, low percent ice, and GT Classic. The better seed gets the option to veto or defer to their opponent which category they would like to veto. Azure chose to take his veto and chose to veto GT Classic. And BFrobber went ahead and vetoed low percent ice. So now we're getting the real 100% feeling, even with the intro cutscenes. So we're in for the long haul tonight, everybody. I do know that our last multi-category tournament, I think it was the last one. I think we skipped a year. So in 2018, these two faced off in that multi-category tournament as well, and they ran any percent at that point. Um, since then, these two runners have improved a whole lot. Um, Azure is an amazing runner. We all kind of know that. Um, Finally done with the cutscene, so that's good. Um, and BFrobber also an amazing runner himself. Their PBs submitted are about 10 minutes apart, I believe. I believe Azure has a 120 and BFrobber submitted a 130 PB for 100%. But still, anything can happen. We can have some new PBs tonight. Um, so yeah, we're going to have 100 fanfares. And now that the cutscene's over, we're counting down and the runners are ready to go. So any second now, we'll see them start off on the lovely Sarah Station. The best part of the whole entire run, right at the beginning. Now they're off. Sarah Station is pretty standard. You go through these rooms, you attempt to not bonk the doors because that slows you down. Um, these doors automatically open when you stand in front of them. If you shoot them, they won't open because of that. That's pretty much the only difference about Ceres and Zebus. Here we have our little baby Metroid friend. And Someone who's not a friend. Ridley, the purple pelican. And they have 1 minute to escape the planet because it is blowing up. Pretty good room time so far from both of these runners. Nice deep boost off the ceiling tiles there from azder. And both runners getting a good wall jump in that last room and putting up really respectable Ceres times. Very nice. Heckin. Heckin is right. Heckin hundo. Right, and if you're just joining us again, we have 100% tonight. That was the category chosen. GT Classic and low percent ice got thrown out the door. This is a race of runners who are in the 2 wins, 1 loss bracket. And the winner will move on to be a 3-in-1. Everything in the beginning is pretty standard. BFrobber using the Moonfall. azder is not. That gives BFrobber a little bit of a speed advantage in the beginning. And then throughout places like Red Tower and even the end in the escape. Our first item, lovely 1%. Only 99 more to go. We have the morphing ball. azder with vanilla, BFrobber with strawberry. Very cute. The thing about the elevators is that the platform is always there in the way, so it's impossible to fall down the elevator. So luckily that platform's there so Samus doesn't just trip and fall in. Our next journey takes us up to the climb. Everyone's favorite part of every run. azder gonna do the right side wall jumps. Looks like Frobber does the same. And this is a lot more difficult than it looks. It can be really tough to kind of keep your wall jump going. Have your wall jump kind of at the right speed that you don't bonk the platforms on the side. And then also the pirates that are in the way that you have to shoot while you're coming up. Alright, and then we're going to have the classic Bomb Chorizo fight. We see Bomb Chorizo in about 99.9% of Super Metroid runs. Ideally, you want to have yourself in a position so that when he wakes up, he kind of pops backwards and doesn't touch you. Because that way you stay at full health. Both did a really good job of that. BFrobber did a little rolly strat to get him to kind of stay back. Because if he touches you, obviously, your health goes down, and you don't want that, because then you don't get missile drops, or you're less likely to get missile drops, I guess, I should say, and therefore your fight will be slower. Both make it out alive. Azder with our first E-Tank at Terminator. Nice Alcatraz from BFrobber. Both runners just running through these green pirates. No real need to conserve health in the hundo route. There's not too many dangers that lie ahead. Plus, you're gonna do the mock ball to get early super missiles. Nicely done. And it's a nice D-boost off the waiver to come back into this room in the back here, grab the Brinstar reserve tank, and not one, but two missile packs. It's the other Billy Mays room. I think it's just a tad bit faster to get the reserve on your way back out. Azure nicely does the backwards mock ball through those gates. That's a very tight mock ball, very difficult to do. Probably more difficult than it looks. But it still looks pretty difficult. Frobber setting up for it as well. And also gets it, very nice. Lots of skill already. And as you know, there's lots of things here in early Brinstar that are blocked by power bombs. So we will be making a trip back here. Things like the Edakun's items, Wavegate, Mission Impossible, all that good stuff. So pretty much we're just gonna grab the charge beam and go. We'll be able to grab all those extraneous missiles kind of on our tour back through. We don't need to worry about them right now. Plus we have plenty of missiles because of the ones we just picked up. Also a little faster to skip those green pipe missiles for now and come back for them later when you have items that make you just a wee bit faster. Probably not a huge time sink either way, but all those little time saves really add up. Right, we both have our spacer, our nice thick three-pronged beam. And we're going into Kraid's warehouse. One thing here is there are missiles over on this right wall here that are guarded by power bomb blocks. So these runners neither of them elected to do the thing where they grab power bombs at the top of Red Tower early. So they will both have to remember to come back for those. Um, that can be a little bit hard to remember, since kind of by the time you are ready to come back to them, you're pretty much done with the run as it is, and Kraid is far from your mind at that point. Azure is set up for the quick kill. Zero the 2 missiles and 3 supers, very nice. And collects his Mario suit. Frobber inching his little morph ball up, ready to set up for a quick kill of his own. Did some little hops to get 3 supers in. Didn't land a 4th. He's got Kraid to stand up, but pretty quick to dispatch of him at that point. Now we go. Originally the game intends you to actually come down this elevator before going to Kraid, and get your high jump boots. But with our advanced technology, we can bypass that requirement and get these high jump boots later. Kind of interesting maybe that Azure didn't open the door. It doesn't really matter, I guess. But generally, when you don't open that door, it's because you're not going up to get those missiles. But he is going to get these missiles. Did he open the door? Oh, he did. Never mind. Ignore me. I was looking right at it, but I didn't see it. Too fast for me. Probably gonna try and do the same. Spacer beam is kind of interesting. I think we all know like wave beam does go through walls, but spacer beam has kind of a unique property where if one of the prongs is outside of a wall, all 3 of the prongs of the beam will go through the wall. So that kind of makes it a little bit easier to hit that little nova on your way in. And that kind of explains why sometimes you see spacer beam go through walls. Nice bubble mountain from Azure. Not getting trolled by the cack attack at the top. And we're also remembering the cathedral missiles. Not super common to forget those, but if you are kind of having some muscle memory going on, you could easily just run right past those. Speed booster, our next major item. Frobber kind of morphing at the top of Old Mountain, and just in case, if he was to take damage, if he wasn't morphed, he could have easily gotten knocked back. I guess kind of when you're going in an upward motion, kind of towards an enemy, if you morph, it's much, I don't know if it's impossible, but it's much less likely that you'll get knocked backwards. You'll continue your momentum going forward if you morph at that point. Well, sure, how's his wave beam? Beam getting pretty strong at this point. Nice and purple. Has a very nice double chamber going in and out. Well, if you like true completion, then hopefully you were here at the beginning to see the opening cutscenes with us all. You missed it. Frobber gets his wave beam. Gonna take on double chamber, the opposite direction. This double chamber, I like to say, is the real worst room in the game. But both of them make it look easy peasy. Very nice. Got a croc fight for Azder. Old buddy Crocomire just minding his own business. And then we come down and bully him to death. Sad, really. The developers of the game would like you to get your grapple beam before coming to get this E-Tank, but we are brave and strong and capable, and we just bypass that requirement. Also getting a nice spark. That giant spark can be pretty tricky to get over those platforms right before the door. And collects those first power bombs of the day. I'm just gonna set up this room, building a power bomb, and running and jumping over to get the grapple beam. Very not likely to grapple over to the pantry missiles. He'll actually come and take. Please don't. Oh, he is. Intended strats are bad. Intended grapple is bad. How about I just do the short charge here? And then grab those missiles. This short charge is very, very short. I don't even know what kind of tap or stutter you would need for that. Stutter 3, I'll say. Thank you all. Yeah, it probably feels more like an 11th tap. It's nice to have that speed booster high jump combination. Even these very simple run and jumps kind of things, they just feel a lot cooler, even though they're very easy to do. However, actually, foregoing sparking, because you can actually just get up here by running and jumping. Um, Needs a wee bit more run speed. There we go. Yep, and wall jumping up. This for azder is also these escape missiles with the combination of speed and high jump. You can just jump up there as well. You need to have a little bit of running distance on the platform, but nice deboost from Frobber to come and get these missiles. Sine, cosine, tangent missiles. Whatever your preferred, I don't know, geometry word is. Trigonometry. Math. I think there is debate on whether they are the cosine or the sine missiles. I wouldn't know. I don't remember what either of those things mean. Alright, now azder is actually going to go all the way up Red Tower. Not time to clean up Brinstar quite yet. Or at least pink Brinstar and green Brinstar. We're going to collect some more power bombs. And maybe head on right over to the wrecked ship. I don't actually know. I don't know the proper hundo route. But I'm gonna learn today. Very nice beta power bomb room, sure. Those big side hoppers aren't so scary when you have 4 E-tanks and a reserve and various suits. And apparently speed booster even. Faber also heading all the way up Red Tower. These heckin' rippers are being heck. But he gets by him just fine. And we're just gonna grapple the intended strats over the moat. Grab these missiles. It's a little bit faster to just go ahead and grapple than to open the doors and charge up a shine spark like you would maybe in an old route 80% situation. But shine sparking over the ocean here is just fine. Health's a little low, but no problem for runners of this skill level really. With Varia, Fantoon, instead of doing 40 damage, we'll just do 20 damage, and really that's not that bad. Especially with the amount of missiles you have, you don't have to be quite as careful. Probably doing the beta power bombs as well. If you do lay your power bomb, or if you roll kind of the whole way through and over all the way to the left, and you're in morph ball, the big side hoppers actually won't even touch you. You want to be careful not to lay your power bomb all the way to the left though. Or if you do, to slide over to the right a little bit. You don't want the power bomb to pop you up and make you hit the side hoppers. Of course, it doesn't really matter unless you're low on health. Fantoon doing a little fast pattern action. Nice, ooh, Frobber also turned off his phaser, so nice X Factor moisture. And very, very short fight. Good patterns from Fantoon. Nicely done by Usher. I don't know, is that fast, fast, fast? I'm bad at that kind of thing. Doesn't get a whole lot of health in those drops. Um, but again, not the hugest deal. Odger's a new route runner. Used to being here in the wreck ship with no suits and very little energy anyway, so it'll be okay. BFrobber, remembering the spooky missiles, you don't want to be coming back for those missiles while the ship is awake. That room goes from 0 to 100 really quickly. I'm gonna go for the speedball entrance. Nicely done. Let's see if Frobber gets good patterns from Fantoon as well. Not a fast. Gets a mid. But kind of that nasty over there on the right side up in the air, kind of mid. I don't think Frobber was expecting it. Trying to set up for the X Frobber. Kind of hard when Fantoon is doing this thing that he does. There we go, very nicely done. Audrey making quick work of the spiky room of death. Not dying. Yet. Good job. Gets a nice health refill. And Fantoon's down for Frobber as well. Could see some cool attic strats here from Usher. Using, not sure what we call it these days, but using the blue from the speed booster to essentially do what Screw Attack does and just break through enemies. And not expending his own health while doing it. I'll try to get the robot clip there, but just barely not getting underneath his little legs. Frobber's gonna take on Spiky Room of Death himself now. You actually don't have to run and jump when you have high jump. Unless he turned it off already, that could be. Ooh, he's having a little bit of a dangerous one. Lucky for him, there's an E-tank pretty soon. Those platforms do a ton of damage. And it's not called Spiky Room of Death for no reason. Azder remembering gross sky missiles. Gets them on his first try. And a shine spark across the bowling spikes. The fastest way through, and the maybe second safest way that he currently has through. Frobber's just gonna tank the damage. That room can be really easy to kind of... One wrong movement will heck it up, but luckily he's got plenty of E-tanks that he could just run through and tank the damage and not really worry about getting back in a good pattern. Does the cute little wreck ship clip. And does the shine spark extract. Very nicely done. That can be tricky if you don't do it quite soon enough. You can actually miss the last key hunter. Even though it looks like you shine sparked right through him, the game will say that you didn't. Cause sometimes this game is rude. And we now got our gravity suit on Oster's side. Nice and purple. Purple best color. Faster if you know you're gonna get the gravity suit to get these missiles under the ocean on your way out. Because gravity makes you go fast underwater. Frobber also remembering his sky missiles. Oh, that was... I almost thought he wasn't gonna get him, but he got him. Very nice. Now what is next? Gauntlet, perhaps? Criteria power bombs? Also, perhaps? Neither. Okay then. Fine. Looks like we're going for Brinstar cleanup. Poor big cry. Alright, Frobber taking his little break. Still have quite a few items to collect ahead of us. We're gonna go ahead and start with visiting the Edicoons. This room coming up for Roger can be pretty trolly for a new runner. Or when you are just a kid trying to have fun playing video games, and your poor, unsuspecting soul runs and tries to grab that E-tank and falls through the floor instead. But these runners won't be fooled. Actually, we're gonna go down the hole on purpose. And then the game developers were so nice to put a save point down there. So that you are permanently stuck down there unless you learn to wall jump, which these Edicoons do a terrible job of teaching you how to do. But that's okay. We're all grown up now, and we're professionals who know how to wall jump. Frobber getting his gravity suit. Maybe if the items aren't randomized, we can see a randomized route. Maybe Frobber will do something different than Oster's doing. And Oster getting what we call a Mission Impossible item. These are some more power bombs. Sometimes if you get it just right, you can actually jump back through jump back through the hole before the crumble block respawns. It's pretty neat, but a very precise trick. Also, no spore spawn today. We will see some spore spawn next week, though. But sadly not today. We're just going to sneak attack through the back door and grab his item. Frobber is actually going to get these criteria power bombs right now. I like it. We might see him perform a wraparound shot to have the door. So if you get this just right, and I think he did, the door to Gauntlet will actually be open from the other side, and it is. Nicely done. First try. There's different setups for that. You definitely need Wave Beam, but different setups for that depending on what beam combination you have. I'm guessing Frobber's pretty comfortable doing that with the Phaser Wave combination, seeing as how he got it first try. Azure picking up his last pink Brinstar item. This waterway E-Tank. Gonna do a really cool Shine Spark up these stairs. If stairs tire you out, you can just Shine Spark. Frobber doing a nice job of getting both of the Gauntlet missiles. Feels pretty bad when you accidentally fall down only one side. Or even if you fall down the middle perfectly and you still end up not getting either missile. I've never done that, but someone else probably has. Definitely not me. Alright, Oz, you're going back down now. Pink and green Brinstar are all cleaned up. We still have blue Brinstar to tend to, but we save that for just about the very end. Frobber gonna visit his friend the Edicoons pretty soon. And he'll learn how to wall jump. Also gonna enter Meridia. I'm gonna do this Shine Spark, which is also a pretty tight Shine Spark. That might be a 3-tap as well. If you're not good with the 3-tap, you can actually use that ledge that he just crossed and then spark and then fall down to the ground and then spark up. That's a little easier. That only requires a 2-tap. Don't want to forget Mama Turtle's item in the wall. And also don't want to forget the power bombs that are underneath Mama Turtle. Just kidding. There's no power bombs under Mama Turtle. That we know of. We'll see if Frobber goes for the cool Mission Impossible strat. It's really hard to do. It's not trivial at all, but... Oh, not quite. You have to get a quick drop through that crumble block. And then... I think there's some other madness you have to be able to do. But it's really cool to see. We're headed through Yellow Meridia for the watering hole items. There's 2 items over here. The super and a missile. As Frobber goes ahead and steals Mr. Spore Spawn's item. Pretty rude. Frobber doing the wave gate with wave beam. You don't see that a lot if you play randomizer. You notice Azder's actually not going to go for the aqueduct items right now. It'll actually be faster to get them later. He'll do a nice another nice little short charge to get those. And a very nice Batoon. 1 round Batoon from Azder. Also not getting Batoon E-Tank. We're going to get that in a little while. It's actually one of the last things we get. In Meridia, that is. If I remember correctly. I probably don't. Azder getting his precious missiles, because he is precious. Yeah, you can clip out of that charge beam area. A little tricky though. He does remember the green pipe missiles though, so that's good. Azder about to head into his Dragon fight. Gonna do the combination of the X Factor and the Shine Spark. Didn't quite get all the particles though. Big heck. Dragon can be a really tricky boss to do optimally. Sometimes the Shine Sparkers just don't agree with you. Luckily though, you have kind of a lot of ammo at this point, where it's not a huge deal if you can't quite get the Shine Sparks. Going your way. Alright, nice short charge out of Frobber as well to get Main Street missiles. And Azder collecting the best item in the game, the best 1%. Space Jam. Well, we're gonna sneak into Mama Turtle's room. Hopefully not wake her up. Collect her e-take and her missiles. I see we're still not collecting Batune's e-tank. He shot one of the babies! He woke her up! Oh my goodness. Father, please. We're also still not getting the Aquatect item. We're gonna go ahead and go down the right sand pit into Shaktul and Plasma. I think it's good to choose the right sand pit first. For one thing, it's closer to Shaktul and Plasma. And you kind of want Spring Ball for the left sand pit. It'll make movement in the left sand pit a lot faster. You're very nicely getting up through this room before those bugs come and knock him down. And now we're in for break number 2 in the run. We're in the home stretch. Frobber's still with the spader off. Can't quite do enough damage to kill that shoot there, but that's okay. We'll get him on the way out, I'm sure. Funny how people always kill Shaktul, but they never kill the snails. Snails are 1000% more annoying than Shaktul. But we have our Spring Ball. I think there's a cool strat you can do involving Spring Ball to get the Aqueduct items. If I'm not mistaken. I wonder if Azder will go for that. Big heck, that Batu X Factor is extremely difficult. Your timing has to be just right. It looks like we got a dead Batu now for Frobber. Very nice. Osher's gonna go ahead and pick up his plasma beam. Sea Runners lay a power bomb there in this plasma beam room. Frobber with a nice QWERTY. Power bombs will actually hit and kill one of the pirates that stand on the wall. Power bomb won't harm the pirates that are on the ground though, oddly enough. The wall pirates and the ground pirates are 2 different things, even though they look the same. Frobber also being precious and getting his precious missiles. It's okay that you don't remember anything. I never knew anything. Start. Coming through, you'll see this Cack Alley coming from the opposite way in old route, any percent. Frobber and his Dragon fight, also waiting for the Shine Spark X Factor combo. But Dragon being Dragon. Just the place where everything seems to go wrong. You Shine Spark, you kinda want to Shine Spark at her lack of a nose. Or her mouth, kinda? I think that's the spot where it hurts her the most. Anywhere else, it'll still hurt her, but just not for very much damage. Not Frobber. Getting a space jump. Time for the maximum good movement. And for Azder, we've got one more sand pit, and then we can leave Meridia. Meridia, which is just a big routing nightmare, I think, for Hundo. And you can see how easy Spring Ball makes getting these two items. I absolutely learned that the hard way in my Hundo run. Probably did actually grab the Batoon E-Tank on the way in. I don't think there's much of a difference. I'm getting it now, really. Maybe a few seconds. I don't know, though. But he is choosing the correct sand pit. And then gonna do his spring ball check, and well, I guess it's not really a check, because this is Hundo. We're grabbing the item. Azder, remembering Craig missiles. I think if you get any further in the run without grabbing these, you're definitely going to forget. Frobber also making it up the pants room without getting bothered by those bugs. And we'll take his break number 2. At this point, depending on what you like to do, I suppose maybe some people grab ice early. I don't really know, but we're finally gonna get our ice beam. I like ice if you get it early, especially in something like Hundo. It'll probably do not much more than slow you down, just because you freeze everything first and then you kill it. But the ice is a thing. Alright. Oh. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, because you can get Spring Ball, which is ice. Azder gonna take a Croc Speedway. Croc's already dead though. Sad cry. Spring Ball Ice Clip is pretty tricky to do. It's not for the faint of heart. Getting that Puyo in the correct position can be annoying, but there are some really great setups out there, and I'm sure there's no shortage of tutorials for it if you like to learn. Alright. Time for the last G4 boss of the game and his lair. We're going to Lower North Fair. And we're going the traditional way. This statue will only activate if you have space jump. And BFrobber collecting his plasma beam. Lowers the acid level. And then here's another room you don't see very often in other runs. And then the real final boss of the game is this crumble block floor. Azder perfectly makes it over. GG. Azder has not collected Gauntlet yet, and BFrobber has. And with that beam combo, Golden Chorizo turns nice and crispy really quickly. I do like the idea of being able to go through Gauntlet with the screw attack space jump combo. But what BFrobber did was also really excellent. He did get the wraparound shot the first try. And the Shine Spark through Gauntlet. Yeah, also haven't gotten criteria power bombs yet. But I imagine he will. BFrobber going for this short charge, while Azder runs through worst room of the game. The not so bad room of the game. And nice how Azder did that, using screw attack to just break the very leftmost of those blocks. Because that second layer of the floor is all crumble blocks, so you don't really want to spend too much time there. BFrobber now, with his left sandpit cleanup, has the third reserve tank that we get in Hundo here under his belt. Azder, for shame, grabbing these power bombs. There's a nice cargo through the first platform. Neatly dispatches of both of those golden pirates at virtually the same time. And BFrobber remembering Kraid missiles. Good job. Good job to both of our runners. Alright, time for Ridley, who apparently is so dumb. He is being a little weird with that tail today. We have a very, very angry little guy here. Yikes. Not a docile Ridley today, that's for sure. And Frobber going for his ice beam. Spring Ball sometimes making mock ball strats a little bit silly, but also sometimes helps invent really cool strats. Nice speedball through Wasteland. Always a good strat to know. But takes quite a bit of skill to get. It's good to know, in some lower percent situations where you might not have enough power bombs. Category today is 100%. We are collecting all 100 items today. All dungeons, all dragons, and all worlds and all Warcrafts. Alright, Frobber. Gonna make his descent into Lower Norfair. Gonna let the nice cool music commence. Honestly, he's going the wrong way. Pretty soon he'll take on the Crumble Floor final boss of the game. Once he activates this statue, using his Morph Ball Space Jump whatever combo. This statue says, "Oh, you got Space Jump, you're alright. You must be pretty cool then, so I'll drain the acid for you." Alright, Frobber. No pressure. Spring Ball strats, very nice. Spring Ball, basically if you just hold the jump button, you will automatically bounce off crumble blocks. So you don't have to worry about falling through. And then I didn't really talk about it when Azder fought Golden Chorizo, but there is a spot on the floor you can stand that'll pretty much lock Golden Chorizo in place, and he won't hit you. Can be a little tricky. I think Frobber's got it now. Not a big deal either way though, because they have tons of health and tons of goodies on their side. Because we're getting pretty close to the end here. Alright, Azder picking up his last reserve tank. And Frobber with, I guess, the last major item. Yeah, screw attack. No, not the last major item. We still have the X-ray scope to get. Robert, gonna ascend the not-so-bad room in the game. And hopefully gonna remember these missiles, and he does. He's gonna lay a bomb to keep it safe there. Nicely done. This item was the most forgotten item for me as a kid when I tried hundoing. Always would forget the generic rodent missiles. You don't wanna go that way, Osher. You have some cleanup to do. Well, yeah, of course you're bored. You chose Hundo. Gosh. You vetoed GT Classic. It could have been done a half an hour ago. Alright, for shame, for Frogger. Picking up those power bombs. Osher goes ahead and collects the X-ray scope. Probably the least used item in the Hundo route. Sadly. Mate, Frobber entering the Ridley fight. We'll see if Ridley is a little bit friendlier to him than he was to Azder. Just takes 20 shots with this beam combo. He can tank some damage. The screw attack, high jump, and all that really helps out with this fight. Alright, Azure with the blue Brinstar cleanup. Left some power bombs and some missiles and an E-tank over here. Frobber, I think just a couple more hits. Maybe not even. Frobber says he's ready, and he is. Very nicely done. You saw Azure lay that powerbomb right against that, stalactite in the ceiling. That made it so the wall opened up exactly where it needed to. And here we have not one, but two missile packs. I like that owl, calling it the John Cena Bridge. Because you can't see me, says the bridge. Neither runner went for the strat that you, like, screw attack and space jump through the bottom of the platforms in Lorne Warfare. That's my favorite strat, and neither of you did it. What the heck? Azure, we covered... Well, okay, so... Now, we covered that you can't fall down an elevator. You also cannot shine spark up an elevator. I have no explanation as to why that is, but you can't. Frobber? Frobber? Frobber. Please go— thank you, Frobber. No 99% here today, folks. This is Hundo. Gosh darn it. That's right. Now we're gonna cry. As you're remembering climb supers. Or he's gonna burn to death, I don't know. One of those two. This room is bad and should be ashamed. That is all. Probably gonna take the spring ball maze. You can pretty much just hold jump and hold right through the entirety of the maze, and you'll eventually make it through. Get these power bombs. That is if you have spring ball while you're going through it, which in Hundo you should. But maybe you don't, I don't know. Maybe you forgot spring ball? Alright. As you're collecting 220 missiles because he's still missing the gauntlet missile. That is just against Hundo law right there. Getting 230 missiles, not last. But it's okay. You can— I like some creativity with the route here. Alright, Frobber. Out of Lower North Fair, out of harm's way. Did he forget something again? Oh dear. Oh. Oh, Azder forgot something. Yeah, I think it's crab supers. I always thought that when Frobber was picking him up. I didn't remember seeing Azder pick him up, but I just saw he did and was really fast. With that, yeah. Muscle memory for really any kind of category can really heck you up in Hundo. No matter what the category or type of thing you normally play. Crab super is not the worst thing to miss. It's not the most out of the way thing. Alright, now as it's 230 missiles. And Frobber just gonna collect X-ray, and then a little bit of blue Brinstar cleanup, and he is off to Turian. Luckily, the placement of crab supers, you're basically back where you would be when you are traditionally on your way to Turian, just coming back through the top of Meridia to the top of Red Tower, then to Criteria and to Turian. Definitely a lot better than forgetting GT supers. Or something in Norfair at all, really. Hmm, nice speedball from Frobber there. Very cool. There they are, the crabs were keeping those super missiles warm for you. Roger, that should be 100%. Robert polishing off with his last E-Tank. And fifth to last missiles, or something like that. And say hi to John Cena and Billy Mays. Alright, now we go into Turian. After that long cutscene. Robber? Okay. He thought I was gonna run right past these. 2 more items for Frobber to collect. And then he can go to Turian too. I think. With all that ammo stacked up, you can just run right through these Metroid rooms. Don't have to worry about collecting drops. Super all the doors. Who cares? No, not you, because you have tons of ammo. Is it just me, or was Frobber walking on those spikes for a very long time? The madman. Just felt like the game was allowing him to just walk on those spikes without blooping him off of them. Right, Azder gonna go for the baby skip. Oh, heck. The heckin' Dusty Ripper got in his way. Instead of going to the refill room, though, he could perform a Crystal Flash. That's a little bit faster. That looks like that's what he's gonna do. Alright, Frobber off to the races as well. After his third break of the game. The G4 cutscene. Did you remember to kill all 4 bosses? He did! Excellent. Alright, Azder turned off screw attack so we could get that ice sub skip set up really nicely. And then shoot those Rinkas. If you shoot and kill them with Ice Beam, they take a long time to respawn. As opposed to if you don't have Ice Beam, then they respawn pretty much right away. Frobber about to start his Metroid rooms. Doesn't have as much ammo as Azder had because he didn't take a ship refill, but still has plenty. Does not need to worry about drops or anything. Just run, 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 and shoot. Alright, Azder already done with Mother Brain 2. That was quite a fast fight. I'm gonna set up for stand-up glitch, it looks like. I think, maybe. No. I don't know. I don't remember how to do stand-up glitch. Leave me alone. Stand-up glitch, though, can go wrong. So it's definitely the safest bet to not go for it. Especially if you are aware that you're ahead. And that stand-up glitch wouldn't really make a difference. If I were gonna do the same setup, drain his reserves in case he does get caught by the baby. That way he could just do a Crystal Flash like Azder did. Because you cannot Crystal Flash if you have reserves. And he does get the baby skip. Nicely done. Yeah, you want to damage yourself down to 70 tanks. And I don't know if it was accident or on purpose, but he had damage down to 6. I'm gonna set up for his Zeb skip as well. Nicely done. We've got Hyper Beam for Azder. Mother Brain 3. There's a good spot on the floor that looks like Azder's caught pretty well. That basically you can get 4 shots in at a time on Mother Brain while you're jumping up and down. He did a nice job of showing that. Probably gonna go ahead and take this time to damage down a little bit. You're getting the perfect 3 minutes. If you do a full jump, I think you want to wait for the word escape to cross your screen, then do a full jump. And you'll get the 3 minutes. We're actually pretty close. Out was the blue bomber. Alright, and Frobber done with his Mother Brain 2. Looks like he is gonna go for the stand-up. Maybe Frobber will do Blue Bobber for you? As he happily bounces up and down. Alright, and Azder has finished in first place with a time of 1 hour, 26 minutes, and 40 seconds. GG Azder. Nicely done. I'm going to remember to put the winner on the screen and switch the audio. Look at me go. Big Pog. Based on what Frobber submitted for his 100% PB, this could PB for him. He has a submitted PB of 130... 130.47. So this will be a PB for him, if that's accurate. Oster's here. Hi, Oster. GG.
Roar.
Roar. Nicely done, getting 99%. How did you feel about your play and all of that?
It was not good. I didn't remember how to do anything. It's been a long time since I ran Hundo, so it's kind of understandable, but like just the sheer amount of strats that are forgettable in this category rusts so hard.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Frobber did go for the Blue Bomber. Didn't quite get it for you, Owl. Yeah, Hundo, I think, I don't know, has tons of strats and tons of different ways to do things. But I think you put on a good show, regardless. Heckin'. Alright, Frobber making his way up Parlor. If he doesn't save the animals, it'll be a PB. And he doesn't. Sad cry. And BFrobber has finished in second place with a time of 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 43 seconds. GG Frobber. And it is a PB for him. Woohoo. Frobber declining the interview, but that's okay. We have him in chat. Very nicely done. Azder, did you not realize that you had forgotten crab supers until you refilled up the ship? Or did you have a feeling?
No, I thought I had everything when I went to the ship. I was just making sure. I figured I might as well since I was doing the lake gauntlet, and I was really surprised when I saw I had 45 supers. I was like, "What? Are you kidding me?" I was literally trying to think of bingo tiles so I could remember what supers were in what region, so I could try and remember if I got each one. I knew I got GT. My first thought was GT, but I knew I got that, and then I realized it was crab because I'm not in the habit of when I think of crab supers, I think of it grouped with Main Street Missile because of randomizer,
Mm.
and I guess I have trouble disassociating that. I really thought I was done when I realized I missed that super pack. So I hadn't played it. Like, I know my PB is a few minutes ahead of his, but I thought the gap was. I didn't realize the gap between PB was that wide, and I just not played very well compared to my own PB, which also isn't that great for me. So I was just like, I actually thought I legit thought I was gonna lose because of crab supers.
I was. Well, your timers are exactly 3 minutes apart, but I was pretty sure that you had plenty of time to still go back and get them. But yeah, it's funny because yeah, I saw BFrobber getting crab supers, and I remember thinking that I don't remember seeing you get them, but I just thought you were just fast and I didn't notice. So
I thought it was like when I saw 45 supers. Like, one of my initial thoughts was, why did nobody tell me? I forgot something. Like, it was so weird that nobody else in chat would have noticed that a super pack had been missed. But
yeah.
that one makes the most sense, I think. Because
Yeah.
especially since, like, I was probably way ahead of him because of the or I looked way ahead because of the route that I took. Like, going to thingy, skipping gauntlet the first pass, I think. Yeah, so that would have widened the gap a lot and made it hard to realize the difference.
Yeah. I didn't even think anything of it when you were refilling at the ship. I was pretty certain you got everything.
Oh, that makes so much sense, actually. That's why my super count was so garbage. I was like, I know I used some extras on Bottoon and Dragon, but even so, it's not supposed to be that bad. I had like 3 after that.
Good. Why are both of you making it official with 100%? Nicely done.
Yeah, I had to veto the category that I actually like played recently versus the category that I haven't played in like a year plus because I thought my chances of losing in GT are a lot higher.
That is true. GT Classic is a little bit of a riskier category. But man, Hundo, you put me through that.
Well, it was the most likely it was the most likely pick for this matchup. I was pretty sure I was going to get Hundo. I didn't practice it or anything because I didn't have time, but I was pretty sure I was going to get it. So you should have known, I think.
I was actually surprised. I expected you to defer, just because it seems like everybody defers to their opponent.
It doesn't actually matter that much, but
Yeah.
for a lot of other kind of choices where you like defer and then you choose between two, I didn't really have a preference, so I was happy to. I really didn't care, but this time I was like, I do not want to do GT Classic. I'll definitely do it over some other categories. It depends, but not for this matchup.
Yeah, GT Classic, something definitely more of an underdog could take an advantage in that. But yeah, it was still fun. Had a good time watching you guys. Both very skilled runners. You have anything else you'd like to say about the race tonight?
Oh man, Hondo's like this category is boring unless you're like actually I think, active in it and grinding and doing the strats correctly and like taking it seriously, and I was just not. But I put myself through this so that I don't know how to do GT. I was really like hoping he would just like randomly pick low percent, thinking that it'd be the best bet. But because that was actually, you know what, that was why I vetoed first, because I thought he might think he had a better chance of winning at low percent. Although I don't know if he's actually ever done it. But I figured if he had done it at all and like had a 110 or something, then maybe there still could have been enough that went wrong for me.
Yeah, he didn't submit a time for low percent ice, but we've seen before already, I think, some people surprising us with either RBO or low percent ice and going ahead and doing it anyway.
Yeah, I didn't do the research on it though, so I was just hoping.
That would have been fun, but I would have known just about nothing about low percent ice. Just like I know nothing about Hundo other than getting 100%. But that's alright. I had fun. Congrats on the win. Going to be 3-1 now for next week's bracket. And congrats to Frobber on his 100% PB tonight. Let us close out tonight. Please follow our runners, by the way. That is our last race for tonight. Tomorrow we have tons of races on the schedule. Saturday, April 11th. We've got 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 2 at 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and 9 o'clock, and at 10 o'clock. Tons of races tomorrow. So I will definitely see you guys all there at least one of the races tomorrow. Please? I would really appreciate it. And with that, I think I will close this out. GG again, Azder. Thank you for interviewing with me. And thank you, Frobber, for racing. Hope you all have a good night. See you next time. Bye.